Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezuah Elimihe. Let's begin this with an assumption. You really have some financial issues, and your mind came to you and asked you with a readiness to serve, what do you really want right now? What would you want me do for you now? What would your answer be? Would it be, I need lots and lot of money, a whole lot of it? Or would it be all-round fulfillment? I mean, total fulfillment across all spheres of life. What would be the wise option for you? I want to hear your answer. Put them in the comment section. I am Osezuah Elimihe. You know me. I am in the game of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. Yes, lots of money or all-round fulfillment. This is where we go. You must learn to move from what you think you need right now and focus on the long run. What do you exactly need? A lot of the times we focus on that which we think will give us an immediate fix at the expense of that permanent fix we need. Is money what we actually need, or what money can do? Is it not the happiness, the fulfillment, and the pleasure that having money brings? Is it not the confidence? Is it not the sense of peace, the sense of power, the attendant pleasures that flow with having money that we need? Again, what exactly do we need? Is it the money or the wealth? What exactly is it? Moving away from that which is lasting to that which is temporary is the greatest misfortune of the human experience. We always think that the immediate satisfaction is more important than the total one, the solution. A wealthy man does not need money. Money needs the wealthy man. Don't forget one thing. Money is a spirit. It goes to places where it is valued, where higher values exist. Money doesn't go to where it is to be worshipped. If you find money in an environment where it is worshipped, you just understand that that money is not a product of wealth. It is a product of enslavement. Money thrives better where it has to serve, where it is commanded, where the energy present is higher than its own energy. It is a pull that it cannot resist whenever its energy is superior. Money decides where to go to, but when the energy is far higher, money is compelled. It is like the minister of a king. It does not dictate when to go to the palace. It does not dictate when to offer service to the king. Whenever the king commands their presence, they obey. That is what this whole thing is all about. So what you'll be asking me next, that you are saying that I should focus on happiness, on fulfillment. Of course, yes. There are energies that certain material things of value gravitate towards because they cannot resist it. Everything in life functions at frequency levels. You, as human, function at the highest possible frequency in the universe. And if you can stay at least at the middle of that frequency, you will attract every good thing that are requisite for thriving on this planet. But a lot of the time, we are functioning at a far lower frequency. As human, you are naturally a bundle of joy, a bundle of fulfillment. You really do not need anything to be fulfilled. What you need is connection with your inner force, with what you truly are. So, if we are human, why do we need to connect with what we are? Aren't we us? Yes, we are, but this is the challenge. We have in our system mind, and we have the body, this physical form, and then we have the environment. These three factors are not humans. They all have their own frequency because they are forms of energy and they vibrate at their respective frequency. The highest of these three is the mind. The mind vibrates at a higher frequency than the physical body, and the physical body vibrates at a far higher frequency than the environment, than the society, than the manifest forms of the matrix, which is the human system, the economic system, the religious system, the educational system, etc. But this is where the challenge is. Mind, though has the higher frequency than the others, is conditioned by the data from the environment. How does mind cross the body to hit the environment? Of course, the senses. The five senses, which are sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch, are pulled, lured to the external environment by the visitors of the environment. And of course, they pull mind along with them, because mind is needed to turn every signal of energy into something visible, because mind is the creator in the lower universe. Therefore, for the mind to function, it will be requiring data from the outer world. And now, that is where mind falls into a trap, because mind does not function on its own. It requires data to function. Therefore, the frequency of the data that is fed into the mind through the senses conditions the mind. If the mind is loaded with data of far lower frequency, mind will begin to function and vibrate at that frequency, and so with the human life, because wherever mind is allowed to go, the human spirit follows. There is a frequency that governs money. There's a frequency that finances operate at. There's a frequency where you have good, stable relationship. There's a frequency of optimum health. There's a frequency for every sphere of experience in the world. When you allow data of lower frequency than your desires to feed into your mind, you will not be able to get those things, because higher frequency attracts things on the same level with it and commands things below it, pull them up to their level. So, what level do you think money is? Money is at the lowest level of the human existence, because money is represented by earth, where your physical body corresponds. Earth. And earth is lethargic, is heavy, and needs to be commanded by a frequency immediately above it. What frequency is immediately above earth? Water. Water commands money. That is why you hear people say that they go to the water deities to go and get, whatever, to get rich, to get money. They appease the deities, because water is stronger and higher than earth, which is money. And then there is a frequency higher than water, which is fire. That is the frequency of confidence. Is the boisterous energy, beautiful. It's far more beautiful, and it's far more volatile, and it's far more destructive, and it is silent. It is forceful and invisible. Until fire begins to destroy, you can see it. When it has finished destroying its object of destruction, it disappears. What you will see behind is matter, smoke, ashes, coal. Fire is higher than water. So if you really want to get wealth, if you really want to have money, you either function at the level of water. I'm not saying you should go to water people to get money. I'm saying you have to raise your vibration, your frequency to that level. Or you raise it even further to the level of fire, where confidence, creativity is at work. When you function at the liberty of creativity, that noiseless, that self-effacing mentality, where you really don't get seen until you have hit, completed, and are gone. It is the frequency of power. And then even higher still is the frequency of air, which is the heart level. And that is where you have pervasive love. And this is why we talk about self-love. We talk about loving your neighbor, loving everything in creation. When you can stick to love, in fact, how to learn love is to start by loving the life that you want to have. And how do you love it? Get the feeling that life evokes. Dwell in that feeling. Focus on that feeling. each time, non-stop. That state, that feeling of pervasiveness, of capability, of larger than lifeness, go to that feeling, hold on to that feeling, and just savor it. Savor that feeling, dwell with it for a while. Do that up to 3 to 4 times every day. I assure you, if you do that for 2 weeks, you will start seeing changes because you are putting yourself in that state of abundance, in that state of capability. How? By loving the feel of that state. Love is the most potent force, is the most potent energy in the entire cosmos, in the entire universe. That's one thing. Stick to love, develop yourself, evolve yourself, and guess what? You are love. You, as human, are at the highest vibrational frequency in the entire universe. The highest. If the calibration is 800 or 1000, a human being at their best is at that level. Therefore, there is nothing in this physical world that you cannot command. Whether it is in the physical, in the astral, the causal, the supracausal level, you can command all of them because you are higher than all of it. But you are not able to stay in that frequency because you are allowing the data that are coming from the lowest region, environment, to dictate your feelings, to dictate your life. You just have to unlearn and undo the deeds because the system loaded us with data to pull us out of ourselves, to pull us lower and lower. What you now do is to detach from all the data, distance yourself from beliefs. The beliefs are there, don't identify with them. Please understand that belief is the same thing as data. The only slight difference is that data first comes as thoughts. When you have identified with that thought over and over again, it becomes a program. This is the thing that runs your life. The central agent in your life on earth is the mind. The mind is like your computer, it's like your cell phone. It cannot function without applications, beliefs, and they are all the programs. You have to take charge of these programs. You have to define your life first of all. How do you want your life to be? If you want it to be miserable, then you don't need to do anything. Just allow the programs that have been loaded into you by your parents, by your culture, by your society, by your religion, by the schools you attended, by the confraternities you joined, to just run, and you'll be okay. Enjoy your misery. But if you want to rise above misery, you want to be powerful, you want to be in charge of your realities and really live life on your own terms, you have to now begin to detach from all of these beliefs. It starts with when you're talking. When we are talking about certain things, we speak as if we were the originators of these ideas. Detach. And when you see information, you see data from the world, arguments, positions in things, don't just jump in and take sides. What you have to do is to also question from a detached perspective. Don't be a part of the rat race. Don't be a part of the squabbles and the fights that are going on in the world. You are superior to all of these. This is where we come back to again, love. When two people are fighting and love comes into the scene, it does not take sides. The game of love is to bring peace. Live your life, focus on fulfillment, all-round fulfillment, and stop running after quick fixes. It is the quest for quick fixes that does damage to the human existence, that does damage to the human life. Now, when you are fulfilled, my friend, you are confident, you are blissful, you are grateful. And when you are in that state, your energy is buoyant. It lifts you above the normal rung of the margin crowd, of the populace. And in that state of being buoyed up and happy, fulfilled, untouched by the manipulative forces of the matrix, you begin to command things up. Now, this is it. At that high level you occupy, even if it is just 400 or 450 frequency, money will fly up to you because you pull it up like a magnet pulls iron. Anything you focus attention on will come up to you, will be pulled up to you. They may not be at your frequency, but you pull them up and use them for purposes that you want to use them for and move on. That is how this world is. So detachment is the key. But when you begin to attach to them, you will have no option but to fall off the pedestal and come to their level. And when you sink to their level, they leave you. The only thing that can make you keep them is to enslave yourself to them. That time, you will lose your peace, you will lose your dignity, and you will behave erratically. You are no longer human. So, do your utmost to be human. At least play human at your minimum level. Don't be this physical body. Don't be the environment. At least be the mind. Because at the frequency of fire, at the frequency of water, at the frequency of air, you are still functioning as mind. This is mind at various degrees.